Welcome back everybody to the daily show where I'll be doing technical analysis on stock market. So before we get started, please hit that like button and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. Now, these trade ideas I just posted on my Patreon, so head over to Patreon and if you want to check it out, bunch of trades that we took profit on today. Starbucks was one of them, but the biggest one was SMH. We shorted yesterday at the top when Jay Powell came out and pumped the market up right at 375, and then this thing rode it back all the way down to under 365 today. Nvidia still holding that position. HD calls, you can see December 9th, we got in at 346, 360 calls, and today was 362. Starbucks is another one right here. So if you're really, and I mean really serious about trading, guys, then definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into the market. So Broadcom beat on earnings and revenue, says AI chip sales will double in current quarter, and the stock is up a little bit right now. We do have earnings from I think Costco as well, and then Lululemon. That's another one that is going to release earnings. Now you can see, I mean, market went crazy over that rate cut. But again, guys, lots of people when the market is going up, extremely just bullish, But look at this here in the market. I mean, big names like Google down 2.43%, Meta flat, Tesla down 1%, Amazon down 0.65%, Apple flat. Oracle took a massive beating. I think this morning was down like 13%, took the entire market down. Microsoft was also down nearly 2% this morning, and I'm talking about futures market. Look at what happened. Green. Nvidia was down, I think, nearly 4%, still down 1.5. Broadcom is down almost 1.5. Intel down, MU down, AMD was down, but that came back up. But look at financial here, guys. JPM, Visa, Mastercard, and all that. I mean, just going absolutely ballistic here. Then we got Eli Lilly also going up. J&J, UNH had a massive run today. And look at here, consumer defensive, Walmart, Costco, and then the play that I was showing you guys, HD. This one was really, and I mean really good. This play got in at 346, and today was 362. Now, data wise, we don't really have too much going up until next week. So let's get right onto S&P 500 and see where things are going there. So here on SPY ETF, it's up 0.23%, but you can see, I mean, this is just insane. Off of this support 682, the dip was bought up, and I mean that is a pretty big move here. And now with Broadcom's earning, it's up, and we're pretty much trading into all-time highs right after closing. Now, one thing that can actually happen, you can see this top and this top. Yes, this could be a double top, but where is the neckline? Way down here, right? I mean, we're nowhere near neckline. So that one, once we get under the neckline, then we can talk about it. But this is something to consider that markets sitting at all-time highs or hitting all-time highs every 5 minutes. And look at where the economy is, especially when market smells money coming into the market, it goes up. But then when market realizes that, oh, shit, something is messed up, that's when market can give back a lot of these gains. Especially, I mean, even right here, you can go back and watch my videos for past 5 years. At all-time highs, you don't get overly bullish. At all-time highs, you don't go and chase. At all-time highs, you don't look at the market for more upside. You look for the downside or the next opportunity if the market comes down at some point. Now, you can possibly ask me like, "Oh, today was an opportunity." Yes, it was, but this is not something I would go long here than just a $5-6 dip. If you're day trading, swing trading, in the short term, I'm not talking about any long position, then it was fine. But today we got a clean break, and you can see now it's sitting at 690 plus. So where the market can go? Well, if we get over that 690 range, we can possibly get up to the weekly expected move, which is 695, and there is a massive call wall building at 700. That's where we can go. So these are going to be the upside target here on S&P 500. But to the downside, what's going to happen if this thing does not stay over that 690. Let's say we get a break, it goes up a little bit more, everybody gets excited, and then boom, we get a candle like this one or even like this one, and everything flips back, down to the downside. Remember, 2 months we don't have any CPI, nothing. J Paul pretty much have not seen anything and just cutting rates. And I mean, he took a victory lap before also. He also said that inflation is just transitory and it's just gonna go away by itself. And what happened? He had to come out, raise rates, crushing the market, and then now doing the opposite, cutting rates. Uh, I mean, just look at one thing. I'm not even gonna talk about all the other things because it's just too much to talk about all the things, especially when you talk about inflation wise. Beef sitting at all time highs. Um, then we got natural gas, just came off like few days ago. It was sitting pretty high. It was going right. So when these things are really high, guess where inflation is? And especially, I'm talking about like food and energy. It's really high, guys. And if you look at the data and then you listen to Trump, you'll be like, oh, we're good. Market sitting at all time highs. My 401k is good. That does not mean that it cannot go down. Every time people get bullish at all-time high, market comes down, they chase, they lose money. So right now, you cannot chase this move. We have to wait for that next big move to the downside, whether we get one, this week, which we only have one day, or possibly next week, or even into next year. And I'm talking about January, where we usually get a pullback. So SPY ETF, these are levels to watch to the upside. If we get some sort of a pullback, 685 and then 682, these are two key zone to watch. We have the 5-day sitting right at 685.82, so that's going to be a strong level to watch. But this thing goes through that, then watch out down here at 682. And once we get under this level, we might be pulling back even harder to close this gap, which is still open. We got a gap and go, and we never came back to close this gap down here. So on triple Q, it's down 0.32%. So triple Q is actually not an all-time high, and that is a bearish divergence in between S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100. You can see S&P sitting at all-time high. Nasdaq definitely should be the one leading, but it's not. We definitely had a massive pullback, especially on semis today. But because I guess the earnings from Broadcom bought it back up, or at least some short covering at the end, it was pretty flat, right? Even though it went down like 2.5, 3%, and you guys saw that play on SMH, it was really good. I did not even keep one contract at the end because it got really close to 360, and that is a big move. I mean, 10, 12, 15 bucks to the downside you get on SMH. That's a pretty big move, and it was going in the money. So what happened here on Triple Q? Now I do not share these trade ideas most of the time with my Patreon group. And this is a trade on my own. I took 625 calls right here at the support. You can see right on your screen what happened. Off of this level, it went up, right? I took 625 calls, and boy, oh boy, this thing, I mean, I think I got out at 623, and it was already massive. So, there is plenty of trades, but end of the day, guys, when you're playing earnings or risky plays like this, when it comes to me, I don't like to share, like these types of trades with my Patreon group because I don't want anybody to go and lose money. I want people to make money, people to be successful, especially when they're trading, and especially when you're going back and forth, you're playing earnings, it's not gonna work out for you. So that's why I don't share these trades all the time. You guys saw I shared many other trades. Those were much, much safer, and you can hold on to those trades. Now, triple Q, what can happen? Well, you can see we got that big bounce. The buyers definitely showed up today, and we got to close just around at that 620, 627 range. Last night we saw a big dump off, but again, it did not, uh, you know, uh, like we did not get a follow through from that sell off. The dip buyers came in, bought up the dip once again. So the sellers, the stronger sellers, are not in this market yet. But as we get closer to all-time highs, where S&P, Dow, and even Russell sitting at all-time high, we gotta be really, really cautious because one pullback. I mean, if I was telling you guys like this is it, and which I did many times. Every time market gets to all-time highs, always warning people that this is not the time to think about going long and opening up a new position. No FOMO. You cannot get in here. You would not believe that this was going to happen, right? Same thing goes right here, even before that. So, smart traders, and especially people that are trading for a long time, nobody wants to go new money long in the market anymore. So guess what? We might see some, slow grind up, but at some point it's going to resolve to the downside. This was the gap. It wasn't that far away, today from 617. I thought maybe we would come down here, or at least 613 to these moving averages, but we did not see that. So it looks like only $2 away. We're gonna go and close this gap, possibly tomorrow. If we can get over that 627 range, which is trading right now, then we can get there to 630 and possibly we'll go higher to retest previous all-time highs right here at 637. To the downside, if this thing does not get over 627 and somehow we see a pullback tomorrow, watch out for the key support down here at 620 to 621 and down under that 617.78, pretty much exactly there, and then 613. I don't know if that's going to happen tomorrow, but I think when we get to VIX, you will see that why we got to be careful, especially at all-time highs. On Dow Jones, it's up 1.35%, so massive, massive rally here. But you can see, guys, last time we had these types of rallies, I mean, this was the bottom, like the short-term bottom we found, and we had a lot of volume. And look at today. I mean, yes, it was more than yesterday, but not something significant like where I would say, oh, buyers are, coming in like crazy. But again, UNH was up. That really helped. Caterpillar was up. Some of these big names, even though Apple wasn't actually going up, it actually had a bad day, came down really hard, but then went back up. But Dow Jones was able to break out in a massive way, up 1.35%, the most. So you can see it's hitting, and this is exactly where you gotta follow this. Look at this upper Bollinger Band sitting at 488. We almost got there. I mean, 490 and stuff. It's almost there. So we still have this gap open here. We haven't even had any like significant retest of 480, and now we're back up to almost 488, 490. So come tomorrow, Friday, if this thing consolidates here, maybe we trace back down to, I would say, like 484. That could be a possibility. And below that, 480, we can see we're pretty much overextended way from this 5-day moving average, which is sitting at 480. So these are downside target for tomorrow. But if this thing continues to grind higher, watch out for possibly 490 and maybe 492 for tomorrow. At that point, it's already, I mean, if you look at the 4-hour RSI, it's getting burned right now. And I think, a mini pullback or something, maybe a consolidation here, that's possibly, going to happen within the next couple of hours right here on Dow Jones. So that upper weekly expected move was 255 right here on IWM, and we pushed even higher today, another $3 up to 258 at a brand new all-time high. Clean break with low volume, not even the volume that we saw yesterday. And look at where we bottom here. Look at the volume here, guys. Huge. Even right here, substantial volume, right? Today, not there. So is this just a fake move just because printer is on? Well, printer is on, and a lot of people think, okay, Fed printing money, that's it, market goes up. Every day market is gonna go up. Let's just buy calls and go long. No, if you're a sensible trader, you're gonna wait, you're gonna buy when there is a dip. When the market going up, you don't chase. Now, why they're printing money? Because there's a lot of crisis. There's a lot of crisis with liquidity here, and that's why they're trying to, put that liquidity back in the system. And it's just not gonna be enough, guys. Just not gonna be enough. Now, if I tell you, that what's gonna happen next year, you're gonna be like, well, we heard that before. Many people say that, but this time it can happen. We're seeing data that we haven't seen in a long time. And as a matter of fact, in this video, we're going to have a look at gold, silver, and look at Bitcoin. That's a risk on asset, right? Why Nobody's giving a crap about Bitcoin. It's not an all-time high. We're far, far away from all-time highs, and it just, it goes up, then it just gives back all the gains, right? Look at some of the stocks related to Bitcoin, like MSTR, Mara. Are they at an all-time high? As a matter of fact, look at BRK. Is that one sitting at all-time high, or it was actually under daily 200 SMA? So all these things, if you line up, there is so many things. If I make the video longer, it's gonna take a couple of hours. So you have to do your own research before buying into things like this. I mean, this one actually had no breather. This was the bottom, and boom, from this low. As a matter of fact, we played calls, but we got out way early. I mean, nobody can catch the perfect move and sell here or buy here. You got to get in somewhere, right? You cannot time the exact bottom, you cannot time the exact top, but we do not go and chase at the top. So here on IWM, we might see some sort of a retracement back down to, I would say, 255. It was pretty much there. As a matter of fact, this thing was down also early morning, but then just went ballistic to a brand new all-time high. Upside, well, maybe 260, 262. That's a possibility for tomorrow, but already trading uh, out of a weekly expected move, which is the top range at 255. So watch out for possibly a pullback into this support. 255 gives up, we will be landing at previous all-time high, which is near 253 to 252, and this 5-day will give confluence and the support that it needs right here on this daily time frame. On VIX is down 6%, so this is why we gotta talk about it, guys. I mean, look at this thing. We had that falling wedge pattern, we had the initial break, and look at what happened today. Made a new low under 15 bucks. So I'm not even gonna do a technical, deep dive in here on VIX. I mean, where things are going, I mean, we're back to 14, like this level right here, right? So this thing here, definitely when VIX sitting this low, yes, is sitting low, the market is looking bullish. That does not mean that we go and buy into everything right now. We buy when this thing spikes 30, 40, 25 bucks. That's when we go and try to buy something. So right now, especially retail traders, investors, people that are watching this video, just be careful, guys. You don't want to go chase anything and then next morning you see market down 3%. Trust me, over the years, many, many years, I have seen people getting burned playing earnings many, many times. I have seen people getting burned chasing, especially chasing at all-time high, like, oh man, I missed out. I should have, I could have, I would have. Uh, just forget about it. Just don't look at the market if it's going up. Come back when you hear market going down. That is the time to buy. So VIX, I'm not even going to talk about it. It's barely holding that 15 bucks. We're actually under that. If this thing pops right back up, maybe gets over 16, then there is a chance for a move up to 18. That's when the market is going to pull back. Now, if everything is okay, everything is going right, what the heck is going on right here, guys? What the heck is going on silver? This is SLB, and you can see, I mean, this thing went ballistic today. We got some high volume as well. 58.30, brand new all-time high right here. Huge, huge move. Now, we gapped up again today, not to mention 2 days ago we gapped up from 52, not to mention a week ago we gapped up from 48, and then we gapped up from 46, then 44, and I'm not even going down below here. I mean, these gaps, forget about these gaps. Things are getting burned here. Look at the RSI, 78, weekly 85. Want to see monthly nearing 90. So you tell me this looks like a buy to you. This is crazy right here. So when silver, gold, we haven't seen these levels that we're seeing right now, that is telling us something that, hey, something is messed up somewhere. So definitely, I mean, when you see these type of moves, even this move, what happened? It was at almost 50. It came down to where? 41. It's trading at 58. It can definitely come down to 52 or even lower, maybe 51, right? The quick move can happen. A flash crash can happen easily to catch people that are chasing off guard, and that's when you're going to lose the most. Here's another one, gold. The ETF, look at this, producing another brand new all-time high. This was somewhat of a bull flag. Here we broke out, we flagged again, and today, boom, another all-time high. We backed off a little bit because it was trading outside the Bollinger Band. So now the key point to watch here is this a fake breakout or this is the real deal? There will be support around 85, the previous all-time high. But if this thing, breaks below that, it would be retesting the support 5-day moving average at 82.34, and this thing will move up even more. So keep an eye on this. And then we have stronger support around that 79 to 80 area, and then we have this gap down here on GDX. So